very good afternoon and bonjour de Montreal. I will be flying from Montreal to Toronto City on board a Porter-8Q400 in economy class. This city pair has up to 16 daily flights operated by Porter and Air Canada Express, all with -8Q400. Security took about 20 minutes. It's a long weekend and there are a lot of people flying out of Montreal on this Friday evening. But now let's head to the domestic gates in the eastern part of the terminal. And here you can see a Porter E195-E2 heading to Toronto Pearson. They introduced the type in December 2022 and already have 39 examples in the fleet after flying the -8Q400 only for over 12 years. And here you can see one of the more interesting birds at Montreal. This Air Quebec -8-300 is headed to Val-d'Or in the north of Quebec. My flight today will depart from gate 8, which is a walk-in gate, so you can just walk up straight to the aircraft. So now it's time to head downstairs. The gate area is rather small and only has a few seats available, so it can get rather crowded if there are multiple flights departing from down here. But you still have a great view onto the apron and the runway. This Air Canada 777-300 is also headed to Toronto Pearson. It is quite common to see white bodies on this 1-hour flight due to the high demand. And here you can see my aircraft taxiing into the gate, arriving from Toronto City about 20 minutes ahead of schedule. This airframe was delivered to Porter in December 2016 and features 74 seats in a 2-2 layout. Boarding started right on time and I'm really excited to finally fly a -8Q400 again, since they're getting pretty rare in Europe. I've actually flown on Porter before, but that was over 11 years ago in 2013 from Montreal to Toronto City and to Ottawa. Welcome to C3 Delta. It's really not that spacious, especially because of the curved wall. The seat features a small tray table as well as a literature pocket with the safety card, the Porter magazine and an air sickness bag. And you've got this great view of the prop. Startup of engine number 2 was performed on the ramp with the help of the ground power unit. The Pratt & Whitney engines have an electric starter, so you don't need the APU to start them up. Due to construction, the airport only had a single runway available that day, so we had to wait another 30 minutes on the ramp with the running engine until we finally got our clearance for pushback. And now we're finally off to runway 06 left for departure. I just love the sound of the -8Q400 turboprop engines during taxi. This Lufthansa A350 just arrived from Munich and still had to wait for a gate. And with a delay of 40 minutes, we finally lined up on the runway for departure. After this very scenic departure with a great view of Montreal downtown, you can also spot Mirabel Airport, located just to the north of the city. This used to be the main passenger hub of Montreal, but now it's mainly used for cargo flights. After reaching our cruising altitude of 24,000 feet, the view looked like this, only clouds and nothing else to see. Porter offers free snacks and drinks on every flight. You can choose between a cookie, chips or crackers. Porter always advertises that they serve drinks in real glassware, but today we somehow only got those plastic water bottles. The in-flight magazine has some great information about the Porter fleet as well as the destinations. With the introduction of the Embraer E2, they greatly expanded their route network across North America. Before, they only served a couple of cities on the East Coast. And since the weather is pretty bad in Toronto, we were already hit by some turbulence during the descent. And as we're coming in over Lake Ontario, you can already spot the first views of Toronto downtown. We'll be landing from the east on runway 08 today. The runway at Toronto City Airport is only 1,200 meters long, which is pretty short. The final approach is also rather steep, so it's comparable to London City Airport. There are also no jets allowed to operate in and out of Toronto City. And now we're already on the final approach for runway 08. Sadly, there's really not that much to see today, except the water down below.
Sign. Please use caution when opening an overhead compartment, as the contents may have shifted with the movement of the aircraft. We remind you that smoking is not permitted until you are in a designated smoking area. Passengers requiring assistance should remain seated until other passengers have left the aircraft. One of the cabin crew will then be pleased to assist you.
What an amazing view of the skyline and the CN Tower after this really soft landing. The taxi to the ramp is really short, so we only arrived 18 minutes behind schedule, despite departing 40 minutes late at Montreal. The flight time was 1 hour and 4 minutes. I really like the design of those leather seats, although they are quite uncomfortable. The first couple of Porter aircraft actually only had 70 seats, so one row less and more legroom. I really enjoyed this short flight. Despite the Dash 8 not being the most comfortable aircraft in the sky, the service was still great, the cabin crew was really friendly, and the selection of snacks is greatly appreciated. And flying into Toronto City is always fun. I paid 315 Canadian dollars or 207 euros for this flight, which is quite expensive, but then again it's Victoria Day weekend and flight prices in Canada are always a bit high. And now let me show you the most convenient part about flying into Toronto City. You can reach downtown in under 5 minutes because there is a tunnel connecting the airport to the mainland. Back in the day you had to take a short ferry ride across the water, but now it's easier than ever. And just like that, we're on the other side. Thank you so much for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe. What do you think of the Dash 8? A lot of people complain that it's too noisy and uncomfortable. But I actually enjoy riding on a turboprop since it's something different than a normal A320. And as always, see you in the sky.